Hey guys, this is Wayne. I'm back again for another video, and this time I'm going to be talking about the Lime Ears Terra. If you've never heard of Lime Ears before, they're a company out of Poland. They've been around for the past few years, and they've released some flagships like the Anima version 2, I believe. I've never had a chance to actually listen to any Lime Ears before, but I was recently given the opportunity to demo it. Of course, I'm going to jump on an opportunity to listen to something really nice. But the Lime Ears Terra was given to me as part of an informal tour. Shout out to Jatis. Link below to his channel. And I want to thank Lime Ears for the opportunity to listen to it. The Terra is a $1,199 USD IEM. That is in US dollars. It is not in play money or anything like that. It is a kilobuck IEM. Terra is a 1DD with 5BA driver IEM. And it's actually very, very well put together and very nice. You'll hear more about that in a moment. But again, shout out to Lime Ears. Thank you for the opportunity. And this is all my own subjective opinion. I was not told, hey, you need to say this or mention that. This is all just ebb and flow with me. So yeah, let's get into the unboxing experience and then into the general review.
Okay, so this is going to be the unboxing experience for the Lime Ears Terra. You can see it's kind of a substantial box. Explore the Uncharted. Their logo right there on the top. Sliding this out. Move that off to the side. You're treated to a very nice build quality IEM. It's a metal build, so it feels very substantial in the hand. It's just a very nice looking, solid, durable build. Like the build quality is very good. And you'd expect it for IEM that's like, you know, over $1,100 USD. But look at that. It looks very nice. Love the green. The font is very classy. You get their other one, which is their logo, Lime Ears. Yeah, just a gorgeous looking set, honestly. Let's set off to the side. So one thing I will notice, or one thing you will notice, is that this is a smooth nozzle. I hate smooth nozzles, but let's measure it real quick. It's pretty hefty, 6.3. Round on the lip. But, you know, it feels pretty comfortable. You have to be cognizant about the tier tips you use. You have to find something that's grippy because the lip is there, but it's not that substantial feeling. So it will, a smooth tip will probably come off from your ear, unfortunately. Let's put that over there. Let's remove this box. Let's go to the rest of the stuff. All right, so this is a accessories box. Come on, there we go. So inside here, there's a little pouch, set of tips. There's also a cleaning tool, I believe. Oh, it might be, yeah, it's in the bottom there, but we don't need to see that. So you get some tips that are, you know, pretty nice quality seeming. These are the foam ones. Carrying pouch. I'm on the struggle bus right now. Little carrying case, and this is the cable and some more tips inside here. They're not bad tips. Carrying case is actually nice. It's very classy, leather build. The cable. Now, if you're familiar with cables, this is a effect audio build. It's a little bit. I mean, it's not the most stiff one I've ever felt. It's not the most pliable. It's a little bit memory prone, but the wrap isn't that bad, honestly. I mean, I've encountered worse. I mean, again, it is an effect audio cable. I don't think it actually is like a standalone one that you could just buy. I don't think it works with Term X or Connex, unfortunately, which would probably, you know, if this was a modular cable, it would actually be kind of nice. But overall, it's a good cable. And overall, it works really well with the IEM itself. That is a 2-pin, and yeah, that's the unboxing experience for the Lime Ears Terra.
So how does Lime Ears Terra sound? if I was to come up with a meme for it, I'd probably do a U shape. I feel like it's smooth U shape, maybe a gentle V shape. The vocals and mids are detailed, but they're not like too pushed up or intimate or too recessed or pushed back. They're just in the right spot of being pleasant to listen to. Bass is graphing a bit higher, but it's not like the bassiest set. It's not for bass heads. It's more for those people that love a balanced tone. Treble and technical performance are just sublime in this case. That's where I think it shines the most. So I wouldn't say it's like a full V shape or a full U shape. It's kind of more on that balance side, but it does graph like it's a little bit higher, but you know, I could always use more bass energy. Overall though, it provides a very good balance between finding the line on analytical or musical. It tiptoes on there, and I think it hits a good balanced presentation for sound. I could use more bass. That's it. That's the end of the segment. We out. We're done. Cutting it. I could always use more bass, but I also enjoy quality bass. I can enjoy that. I don't need all my bass headsets, or I don't need all my IEMs to be bass headsets. That's not what I'm about. I like variety. So in the case of the Lime Ears Terra, you're getting more quality bass in this case. It's got good detail. It's got good attack. Decay is not overly fast where it feels dry or analytical sounding. It's got a good amount of musicality to it. So I think it sounds very well tuned. I could use a bit more note weight. I could use a bit more quantity of bass, but overall, I don't think it's distractingly bad. I think it's good. It won't satisfy bass heads, and it's not going to satisfy somebody that does enjoy bass a lot, but for most people, I think it's going to strike a very good tonal balance of being good quantity, or a good amount of quantity with excellent quality. It's not dry sounding at all, and it's pretty pleasant to listen to. So the mid-range performance for the Lime Ears Terra. Very detailed, very natural sounding, and very clean without being too borderline like dry sounding or analytical sounding. There is a good amount of warmth. And instruments sound very good, detailed, very natural sounding, like guitars and pianos and any orchestra scores, like these sound very good. Female vocals have a good amount of air to it. It's not shouty, or there's no huskiness involved into the female vocals. It sounds very clear and natural and detailed, without losing that like emotion in certain tracks. I would say my only nitpick would really be the male vocals. Like I could use a little bit more warmth. I could use a little bit more fullness in note weight, but it's not like it's missing too much. It still sounds very clear and natural, and it still sounds good. It finds a good balance between being like very detail oriented and not losing that musical like tendency and note weight and musicality to it. Overall, I think it's very good and very well tuned. So the treble for the Terra is very good. It's very detailed, resolving, technical. All the audiophile terms that I can throw out there, it is it to a T. There's a good amount of air to notes. The energy is there. It's sparkly. It's crisp. It's very incisive in a way. I'm just going to keep throwing words out there, but overall, it's excellent. It's very controlled at the same time. So where you feel like sometimes something might be very bright sounding, this gets to that point where it's almost maybe closer towards being a little over that safe treble playback, but it doesn't go over that edge. And I think the energy there that with the treble is very controlled and very handled precisely in a way that's satisfying to a lot of people. It works as an all-rounder. It's not the brightest set. It's not the darkest set. It's perfectly balanced, but also very resolving, and I think it works really well for an all-rounder sound. So the technical performance for the Terra is exceptional. It does a very good job of imaging and separation, so instruments that play where you expect it to be in a track is exactly where it's supposed to be. It does a very good job. It's almost effortless in a way, how it's giving you all these details and the separation and imaging. The soundstage is very good. It's very wide. It has a good amount of depth. I don't like to go like, oh, it's, you know, very like vertical or anything like that, but it does a very good job of encompassing you in the music without relying on like a BCD or something like that, bone conductor driver for immersion. It does a very good job of encompassing you with the music, and coupled that with really good imaging and separation, just good like layering, like everything is very well handled. It's very technical, but it's never boring sounding. So, you know, where a technical set might have some boring aspects to it, this does a very good job of finding that balance while providing a lot of technical performance. So yeah, technical performance for the Terra is a very good standout for the overall sound signature, and I think it's one of the stars of the show. So, comparisons. I've been listening to the Audiophile Cantor, the BGVP Phantom, as well as the Lime Ears Terra. They all kind of have a very similar graph, but they all sound very different. And I'm bringing up the BGVP Phantom for a reason, because it graphs very similarly, but it's also a quad bridge, so you have a DD, you have a EST, you also have bone conductor drivers as well as BAs. It's going to be slightly different, even though it graphs similarly. So if I was to do like quick hits on each one, the Audiophile Cantor comes off as more of that like detailed, resolving, technical. It can be a little bit drier sounding. The bass and the warmth isn't necessarily there where I would prefer it, but you know, it's very technical and very capable. The BGVP Phantom is the warmest set. Now, it doesn't graph as being the bassiest, but the note weights from the BCDs, just how everything's placed, it does a very good job of sounding bassier and feeling more of that bass, mid-range, like, note weight that really helps feel like, make it warmer. So if I was to go with the warmest set, that would be the BGVP Phantom. In between the two is the Lime Ears Terra. Now, the Lime Ears Terra is a little bit more expensive than the other two, but it is the better blend of technical performance as well as warmth in the musical like aspect to it. So, you know, in terms of my preference, I would probably say the Cantor's last, the Lime Ears Terra second, and the BGVP Phantom is first because of that warm tonality. That being said, each one do a very good job. The Lime Ears Terra is a good blend of both the technical performance as well as the warmer type of tonality. And then the Cantor is just excellent for under $1,000 for technical performance. I think it does a very good job. It's not like it's not warm. I just think the Lime Ears Terra is warmer. And I think the BGVP Phantom is the warmest. But they all have very good capabilities. They all three do very good things. Like, I think if you were to have a shootout of the three, it's really just down to a preference because they all do excellent. But yeah, that's my general comparison section. So other things to know. Rock music is excellent on the Terra. It does very good for female vocals, orchestra, those types of tracks. Playback, you can actually listen to this at a moderate high to maybe high volume listening. The treble is controlled very well. And if you want to get more of that bass note, that bass energy, bumping it up, kind of like the Explorer style, works here. So I don't feel like there's any sibilance or harshness if I bump up the volume to a higher volume listening. It works really well, and it works for a lot of libraries. I think it's a very good all-rounder set. If you are looking for something that's more hip-hop or bass-heady, this is probably not going to be it unless you throw in a impedance adapter or tubes. And it does work really well with warmer sources. My JDS Element 4 is kind of a very neutral type of, you know, transparent, clean sound signature. But throwing in tubes really adds that extra warmth that I feel like I'm missing sometimes and helps elevate it to the next level. Now, I did this with a Dunu one as well, my Dunu review. And I will say, if you do have access to an impedance adapter or tubes, this does add that extra special like characteristic. It doesn't respond to it as nearly as well as the Dunu did, but I think having those warmer sources really does open it up and, you know, allows you to enjoy. And it kind of plugs up the only nitpicks I would have with the Terra. So yeah, it works really well for a variety of sources. It takes EQ very well, but warmer sources really do help open it up. So in conclusion, The Lime Ears Terra is a extremely versatile IEM. It provides a good balance of technical performance and good warm musical tonality with solid bass, solid mids, excellent treble, excellent technical capabilities. It does a very good job of balancing without being too analytical. It's not too warm. It's a very good IEM. It may not be the very best IEM at the 1K, but it's a very good all-rounder. And it's definitely worth considering, especially considering the build quality is excellent. They look gorgeous. They are something kind of a little bit different in the marketplace. And if you're in the market for a kilobuck that does a very good job of being all-rounder, and you have access to a warmer source, I think the Lime Ears Terra is a very good option. So overall, my score for it was a 4.5 out of 5. Or 9 out of 10. It does a very good job of being a overall package type of IEM. It's not the best in certain things, but it does a very good job of being technical and balancing that warmth and that mid-range tonality. So yeah, I make it Wayne.